Hello and welcome back to another episode, another little update of the Utah market and see where we're at right now. Let's jump right into it. That way we just get into the things for you guys. Don't have to waste too much time with the intro and all that. But all right, so we are at currently, today is Tuesday, October 14th, and we are at 13,701 as far as how many homes are active currently on the market. We did drop a little bit to the 13 like 500. We kind of got it back up to the 13.7. So over the weekend, we did have 214, not too many that came onto the market. Yesterday was Monday. We had 130 that were new homes that came onto the market yesterday. Usually less than I've seen. We are in October, and so we're mid October, getting into where the holidays are kind of part of that. And so we're going to see as how that changes or how that goes over the next month or so. But I assume that this will be less anyway, that we'll see a dip just because it is the winter and the holiday seasons. 114 that yesterday went under contract or backup. So close to the amount that we had actually go new ones. And so that did drop us a little bit from that. I think we're at 13.7 something on Monday and it came down a little bit there, because we also had a few that went with withdrawn or expired or they canceled. And I also looked at how many sold. We only had 13, or really, I think it was 12 technically yesterday that sold. So we have one this morning that just probably got updated. But really just a 13, 12 that sold yesterday. And so that is a lower number, but it does kind of reflect. Let me actually go to, so this is how many sell, and this is over the month. And so over the last month, how many have sold compared to last year. The black dot is the previous year, where the blue dot is the current year that we have. And so when I look at the end of the month, usually the end of the month, we do have some kind of spike that usually happens with that. And so usually in the last couple of days of the month, we usually have a little increase. Where in the middle of the month is very interesting that we had a similar. So last year on a Monday, it would have been this 27 that sold, where this year, yesterday was 12. And so that is a little bit of a difference of a drop, but not too much. I mean, it's still kind of similar. So we'll see what happens tomorrow on that and see where the numbers kind of really curve and how they go. But usually we have an increase kind of at the end of the week. You can kind of see that each of these at the end of the week kind of rotate up, that you have that on those Thursdays and Fridays. But then also at the end of the month is usually when you see kind of more of a spike. So we'll kind of look at that and see what happens over the next day, but also over the next month, and see if we kind of see that spike kind of still continue to go, or if we don't really see that. It'll be interesting to see. We have, so average days on market. Now, granted, this is the average. This is 65 days. It does include, some of those outliers that maybe have been on for a year or two, depending on. I'll have to look at that and see how many of those homes really been on for more. The median days on market about 44, so that's that median days. I was looking at this one as well, and this is we're midway through the month, and so being able to see that we've had a hundred, or sorry, 1,000 homes sell over the last month. And I was looking at, okay, there was a little bit of disparity here. So I looked at over the last, or this is October, not over the last month. This is October. I was looking, and there was a home, one of those 12 that actually recently sold, was listed super high, more than like the 4 million range, and then sold more at the like 900,000 range. So quite a big drop on that one. But it was that it was a lease option. So there are some, kind of outliers that do change things up a little bit, that do kind of make a big swing for things. And so that's why I wonder if that number is a little different there, just because of that one outlier. I don't know if it's just really that one outlier that really makes that much of a difference, but as we do go through the rest of the month, I'm sure that will kind of even out a little bit differently, and just kind of, because really the price per square foot really hasn't changed much. That's very similar to what it's been over the last few months. But anyway, as far as interest rate, I did see it come down just a little bit. So I do look at the 30-year fixed, as in most loans are kind of in that range. But if you are looking more of a FHA or a VA loan, you've got more of that 6% kind of lower range. If you did have, now granted, these are, once again, these are just averages. And so these averages, if you got really good credit, or you have, different things, you're putting more money down or whatever it is, or you have a rate buy down, that the sellers are being able to provide for you, these things will always change. And you can have a lot lower, usually not a lot lower, but maybe more like in the 5% when we're kind of at this range here. So depending on where things are at, every situation is different. But we are at a 6.32, so it did come down just a little bit. Not that it's changed too much. We'll see over this next week kind of really what it does. But at least yesterday it did 6.32, did drop just a little bit there. But anyway, hopefully this is helpful. Just give you a little quick update and be able to show you kind of what we're looking at here in Utah. One of the things that I do, when I look at these actives, I remember talking about this last time. Let's see if it pulls it up for me. View results. Yeah, see, because I've okay, there we go. So I got so many open that it changes it up. Sometimes when I change the numbers as well. So I go to the grid view and I like to look at the homes. Well, what I do personally with this, with these active homes that are just came on yesterday, I'll go through and then be able to see, okay, where are my clients at? I've got a couple clients in this higher price range, but the cities that I'm looking in, I usually look at the cities, and that is not the cities that they are looking for. One of them, maybe this would work, but they are looking for a pool. That one does not have a pool. So that's kind of what I do. I scroll through. Okay, I've got another client in more the 600, few different clients actually in the 600 range. And so I'm going to skip. Oh yeah, we didn't have any. This is just yesterday that pulled up, and looks like we didn't really have too many that came in that lower range. And so they're more looking in the lower six to 500s. A few different clients there. So anyway, that's kind of what I do. I just check and see if there's any that I sent to my clients. So if you are anybody that is looking for a home, feel free to reach out to me. I usually look at these on a daily basis to be able to see if they fit my clients and what they do, and then I'll be able to send them out. I also have a search, that is just kind of a generic, and it goes to all the clients. I can rearrange that, and that can just be sent to you as well. That way, you can be looking at those. And every agent's going to be doing that. If they're not, let me know. They should be, because it's super easy to be able to create a search for all the clients. But I do like to then personally jump into it and see it as well, and be like, hey, this one's an option as well for you. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and we'll talk to you later. Have a great day.